Ever since I wide-bodied my Hyundai i30N, there's been one thing which has been making it look quite frankly ridiculous. Now, if you haven't seen this car before, I bought it from auction for £7,900. So then we set about rebuilding it, but once that was done, we weren't happy and we wanted to go a step further, so installed this £5,000 prior design wide-body kit. But to go with that body kit, we needed some new wheels, so got these Rotiform KB1s, which go with the look of the kit a lot better. So in this video, we've got one final modification to do before we take it to Mark McCann's house for testing. I am fully aware that this body kit is very Marmite, you love it or you hate it, so some of you in the comments are going to think the whole car looks ridiculous anyway. But for me, this body kit has absolutely made this car, but the thing that's ruined it at the moment is this, the fitment. Or should I say, the lack of. The way the wheels are sitting in the arch is stupid. But I was fully aware that this would be the case when I bought these wheels. But nevertheless, I still need to do something about it. So I think it's pretty obvious what I need to do. And that is fit these. These are called wheel spacers, which do exactly what they say on the tin. They push the wheel further out of the arch, which is going to be essential to make these wheels look like they fit with this body kit. So these go on the hubs just here, like that. They bolt in to these ones, and your wheel then bolts on to these here. And I got these along with the wheels themselves from the guys at Wheelmania. So all you have to do to fit these is remove the wheel, bolt the wheel spacer in place of the wheel, and then bolt the wheel onto the wheel spacer. It couldn't get much easier. So size wise, we went 20mm out on the front and 35mm out on the rear. Now I'm sure some of you are thinking, are these safe? Well, in my experience, the answer is yes. I've run them on loads of cars in the past to bring the wheels further out into the arch, whether it be wide body or non-wide body, and I've never had a problem. But I think it is only right we make sure they're safe by putting them through the paces in this video. So we can get the Rotiform KB1s bolted back up to the car and see how much better they're going to be fitting with those wheel spacers in place. Spacers now fitted, and how much better is the fitment looking out on the front and on the back. Maybe I could have gone out a tiny little bit more on the back, but I'm pretty happy with it. I am toying with the idea of not actually lowering it because, well, the kind of theme and look of this car, I feel, just screams rally car, and then absolutely decking it is not going to give that the same vibe. But there is a second reason too, and that is because of this front splitter here. Just pulling off my driveway the other day, I managed to catch it and absolutely annihilate it here. It's got kind of stress fractures all through it as well now, so that needs repairing, and if I lower the car, it's just going to make that worse. But nothing's set in stone on that front, so, you know, things could change. And because that splitter was born to never survive, I've had to remove it from the car, so this is the look we're going to go with for now. It's rally car vibes, so I don't mind it. So now it's time to see if this Hyundai can really stand up to British roads and everything that's going to throw at them, especially now we've fitted these wheel spacers and the wide body kit, because I'm sure some of you are going to have questions as to whether they're going to be durable or not. And there is only one man which is up for the job of that, but unfortunately Whistling Diesel's busy, so we're stuck with Mark and his kebab. So this is Mark McCann, petrol head, family man, entrepreneur, and just generally an all-round nice guy. And if you ask me, he deserves the award for best smile on YouTube. But I can't go without saying this guy is completely nuts. According to his Google profile, Mark is a Christian author, but I'm not sure how true that is, but what I do know is he has one of the most varied and vast car collections I've ever seen. Right, I'm currently sat in one of Mark's cars, an Audi A6, and in return for him reviewing my car, I'm going to do him a little favour by fixing a few little things which annoy him on his. And to do that, I'm going to be using OBD11, which couldn't be much easier to use. All you got to do, get it out of the box, then plug it into the OBD port, turn on the ignition, and then fire up the OBD11 app. And then once OBD11's detected what sort of car it is, we can then look at what we can do to it. The first thing that we can do is a diagnostic report, so let's do that quickly. So there's 25 different modules to scan. Let's see how many faults we get. So here we go, a total of 7 faults found on Mark's car. That's not great. So 2 faults on the engine, 1's for the MAF sensor and 1 for the cam sensor. There's 1 for the AC clutch, 1 for a headlight bulb, 2 codes showing for the fuel filler flap, and 1 for the parcel shelf. Now I'm going to do Mark a solid and clear all of these codes for him. Some mechanics would charge over £100 for what I've just done there. Now using OBD11, you can also turn on hidden features on your car that the dealership didn't want you to have. You can make it so your rear lights are on all the time as a DRL, and you can also set it so the the start-stop is automatically off when you get in the car. And also a really popular one on these is the needle sweep. So when you start the car, the rev counter and the speedo go all the way to the top and back to the bottom. So in short, there's loads that you can do with OBD11 to your VAG Group car or BMW, from E-Series to I-Series, from diagnostics to coding as well. So to cheat your main dealer and also your mechanic, which is charging you too much for diagnostics, grab yourself an OBD11 device using my link in the description and discount code SLIX. But now we've sorted Mark's car out, let's see what he thinks to mine. So it's clear that Mark knows his way around a good car, so I think it's time to see whether the Hyundai ticks all of those boxes. First impressions, Mark?
Looks is a good, well, we'll go 9. It looks amazing. Love the white wheels.
You know, when you said about looks then, were you talking about me or a car?
You. How big are the wheel spaces?
So we've got 20mm on the front and 35mm on the rear. Is that the same as what you've got on the SVJ?
It's weird they don't put wheel spaces on the standard, isn't it?
I know, yeah, it's so strange.
Might be a reason.
What do you think of the interior?
It's a nice looking car. I like the seats.
Yeah, seats are comfy.
She sounds good.
Yeah.
She's warm.
Yeah, she is now. It wasn't before, but now it is. Yeah, I've got 10 minutes until I've got to run off. So if you take out on a road test, go down a country lane, maybe go through a puddle, and I want to know your opinion of the car. It's got to be an extreme test.
Extreme puddle.
Yeah, it's an extreme puddle.
Extreme B road.
Please, yeah, just definitely, please, for me, don't go up the track.
You definitely said take it up the track.
Don't go up the track.
What's the point of bringing it up here if we don't go up the track?
I said not the track!
She's quite low, isn't she? This isn't going to last long. The test. Adult mode. Right, let's go.
I can't believe this, I can hear him already. He's a lunatic. Mark! Mark! Give me my car back!
This is amazing.
Give me it back now. I can't believe this. He's ruining me car. Okay, I've got to admit, this does actually look like quite a lot of fun. I want in. Let me in.
This is amazing. Quite finishing good fun.
Broke yet? Oh! Oh!
Ready for the jump?
That is one thing I wish Mark never said, because really we were here to durability test those wheel spaces, and the only way to do it is on his jump. Please don't break my car.
That's the trouble in Mark.
I can do the bumper.
It's when it comes down to land.
Yeah, it's if it nosedives, isn't it?
Yeah.
What else have you jumped here?
The Yaris Mini.
Did they all survive?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do it then.
We're doing it?
Let's do it.
Ready?
No. Whoa! Whoa! I think the bumper's still on. Let's check the damage. Oh my god.
I think we're right till then.
What have we done? That was so good.
We just needed more speed.
Did it even get air?
Yeah, it definitely jumped.
Okay.
We definitely had 4 wheels off the ground.
How bad is it?
Is it alive?
With like a front diffuser again.
Oh, let's see how much damage we've done. Okay, maybe it wasn't quite as epic as Mark's jump, but air is air, and that is officially a jump in the I30N. Oh, that ain't too bad. It's not, that should clip back in.
It's dirty,
Maybe.
I thought.
Oh no.
That clip back in?
Have you got a jet wash?
No.
Oh.
We just need more speed. Right, straight on the raffle site. 99p a ticket.
Oh, it's gone, is it?
Yeah, it's dug in there.
But
That's still a fair jump.
alright,
Put it
please.
back in.
Well, I think it might, but I think it needs replacing.
You're going to get another 3 episodes out of this now. You're saying like it's mine. It definitely looks better dirty. You could wrap this now, PPF it on top.
I could. I think that'd look good. But one thing I do want to know is does it have its rally pedigree?
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. If it was rear-wheel drive, that would be immense.
That'd be one way to make it better. Hyundai, listen, make a rear-wheel drive version and you'd buy it.
Or 4-wheel drive, but not
Yeah,
front-wheel drive.
That's the only thing I think that lets it down.
Yeah.
But we still had a good time.
It sounds amazing, it looks amazing, you're amazing.
So are you.
Well, thank you for bringing it here.
Mark, love you.
Thank you.
I need to go fix my car now, thanks. So with the Hyundai now wearing inches of mud and battle scars from Mark's field, we really need to get this car cleaned up. But I think it's only right that we do one final job on this car to give it its final send-off. So I think it's pretty safe to say we need to clean this up. It's definitely not a job that I want to do at home. So to clean it, I took it to a local car wash near me and used the bay where all of the off-roaders use, so to make sure all the mud's not going to really bother anyone. And I must have spent about £30 on the jet wash to make sure to get most of the mud out anyway, of all of the nooks and crannies and the arches and all that sort of stuff, because trust me, it got everywhere. But was it worth it, taking it to Mark's house and putting the car through all of this just to have a bit of fun? The answer is absolutely yes. It's going to be one of those things that I remember for a lifetime. So now I've got most of the mud jet washed out of the car and all the underbody. There was a lot, I promise you, and it's not been a quick job, but I've come down to Ultimate Customs where we have finished off the final clean, and now we can start looking at the next step, because there's one thing which all rally cars need. And no, I'm not talking about mud flaps. We're going to be putting a livery on this car, kind of a race-inspired decal set to really set off the look of the I30N, the wide body, and also to make this car look a little bit more mental. Now, I realise this car is no rally car, I get that. It is a bit of fun, but I want to do something which is going to set it off, make it look a little bit more wild, because that's one thing which, even though I love the style of this kit, I think it could look a little bit more crazy and stand out a bit more. So the question is, what do we do? Well, I have no experience in designing a livery or anything like that, so I gave the job to my mate Matt Jones, who set about doing something to tie up this whole project. And I don't think it was an easy job particularly for him either, because what I had to do was quite complicated. Putting a 2D drawing onto a 3D object is never going to be easy. But once he was happy with it, we got it on the computer with the guys at Ultimate Customs in Warrington, and then set about how we were going to actually put this on the car. Now I'm certain I want to use a red because it ties in with the calipers, it ties in with the trims on the bumpers and some of the bits on the interior, so that's a definite. I think something that will go quite well with that is like a contrast, but also it will work with it is like a satin silver, so I think, let's go have a look at that on the car actually. So for this bit I could either try and tie in with the wheels and go for a white, but I kind of like the contrast from the wheels and I think the silver looks quite sleek, I like it being satin. Let's go silver. And then the final colour of the three, we've gone for this kind of satin dark blue, which I think is really, really nice. So that is going to be the trio of colours that we're going to use on the I30N, in addition to the light blue paintwork. So we decided to start with the most complicated shape on the side of the car, which is the N for the N logo, which is going to be quite big, and we're going to do it in this satin blue. So Ryan at Ultimate Customs cut it out on his plotter, then we could peel away the excess and then turn it into a sticker which we can transfer onto the car. And once we'd found the perfect position for this, we could tear off the backing and get it on. Now it's time for the first piece. So we use magnets to position it where we wanted it, and then we can tear away half of the backing, get that applied, and then use that to then position the rest of it. Now that's on, we can peel away the paper and reveal the final product. All that's left to do is post-heat the edges and get them all stuck down, and then it's on to the next bit. And I really wanted to have a go at this. As we've seen before on the channel, I've wrapped a couple of cars myself, but this was done to a much higher standard and I really felt the pressure doing it, but I wanted to get at least one bit done on my own. And I was definitely feeling a bit rusty doing this because I haven't wrapped a car since my Audi TT at the start of the year. But with a bit of guidance from Ryan, I got this on and got it all levelled up nicely, and then we can move on to the next stripe, which was the silver one. But even though it's in the early stages, we had a familiar face pop by to give an opinion or two.
Hey, it's looking well, isn't it?
It's like Colgate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Colgate stripes.
Is he actually helping you, or is he...
Put that red stripe on.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, the easiest bit, literally.
Haters gonna hate, man. What did you do?
Cool.
What do you reckon?
That looks good, that, mate. That's a bit of me. However...
I feel like you're lying, but go for it.
No.
Okay.
Are these just going to stick up like that? I'm assuming they're going to wrap around the car properly.
Yeah, they're not made out of cardboard.
That's what I was wondering.
So from what we've got downstairs,
yeah,
we've got the red one on, we've got the blue one on, we've got the N on, but we have the red accents here and here.
Yeah.
There's going to be something across here and down here as well. The red stripe, a silver stripe.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have Uncle Benji written across the windows. Yeah.
I want it across your back window. But, you know, I know that you promised Ultimate Customs that you were going to get involved with this, and so far you've put a bit of the red stripe on.
No,
so
I did the whole red stripe.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did the whole one.
You know, pull your finger out. I can hold that for you if you want, and you can crack on.
Let's do that. So with Ben from Evil GT manning the camera, I got a bit more stuck in and started doing some of the pinstriping on the diffuser, because little details like this are really going to make a difference to the overall look of the car. And another one was the centre slat on the front grille too. And while I was doing these easy little bits, Ryan was tackling the much more difficult silver stripe. This was one of the most complicated ones because it went over like 3 different surfaces at different angles. The most challenging part of this, like I already said, is making a 2D drawing essentially on a 3D object look correct, because you couldn't just use one straight piece of vinyl on this because it would throw all of the angles out.
Oh, no, you digging the flow.
And now it's back to me. I'm freestyling a little bit on the boot because we hadn't really got much design for the back, but we wanted something on there. So I went for the tricolour stripes, which we've used already, just in a smaller form across one side of the back lights. Okay, so we're on to the passenger side, but this has had its complications because on this side, this is the side which was originally designed. You can see which way the letter N faces and how that works with the stripes and the logo. So we've had to do a bit of tweaking to make it work on the other side, because if we just directly mirrored it, then the N would be back to front and it just looked really, really strange. So we've had to shift the N around but keep the stripes in the same place. I think it's still going to look alright. So while Ryan got this side laid down like an absolute pro, I finished off on the boot lid with that blue stripe. To make sure the gaps in between each of the stripes are completely uniform, we use different sized tapes to make sure that the gap is consistent all the way down.
The wrong number. Shows overseas, they got love for me, but best believe I'm touring Belize just for me.
And then again, I started doing some freestyling bits on the front end because the original design only had 2 small little red stripes on the bonnet, and I wasn't 100% loving that, but I wasn't 100% happy with this either. The look I thought what I did gave it made it look like a wedding car, which was definitely not what I was after. So we can revisit that in a second once we've put the finishing details on the sides. There wasn't many, just a few little red accents to set off the look of the body kit. Okay, so we are making some progress and we've got most of the car finished, but there's one bit that we want to revisit. And that is the bonnet. We're both agreeing that it doesn't quite look right with the rest of the car. It just doesn't suit it. Something's not right and we need to do something, but we're not 100% sure what yet. So we're going to start by wrapping the front section of this bumper blue and then going from there and trying to work towards something which ties in better with the back end. And this was the bit that I found the most challenging because it was so hard to decide what's actually going to look good on the front of the car. Now, I've seen on a lot of the race cars and the ring taxis that they had something over this front section here. I'd presume partially because it protects the paint, but it definitely does give something to the front end of the car as well. And then we pulled out the whiteboard pens and started drawing up a few different ideas to try and gauge what was going to work on the front end of the Hyundai. Right, we're just arguing about what the best solution is going to be for this, and I think we've found what we're going to give a go, and hopefully this time it's going to work. So we've got 2 blue stripes going here and here, solid thick ones in straight lines rather than curved ones like this, and then using red accents up it, similar to what we've done here, to accent it, tie it in with the rest of the car a little bit better, and still hopefully bring enough colour and enough going onto the front end, and probably also put a logo in. I'm undecided whether we're going to remove these or not, because once those are on, they might look okay, but if they don't, then they can come off. And then, is there anything else? No? There'll probably be something else, you're right. So that's the plan at the moment. My idea, I'll just show you quickly, was going up kind of in this centre shape area here with shapes like this, like that, and then that sort of growing bigger the higher up the bonnet it got, but you reckon it looked like a Wi-Fi logo, so that shut that one down. So let's give this a go. I'm really hoping this time it works. It's starting to get late. So here we go, applying the version 2 of the front end. Now, I don't want to hear it if you think I should have done this or that in the comments section. What I'm actually going to do, because I know loads of people are going to have an opinion on this, is leave a blank version of the front end of this car in a download on the description. And if you've got a better idea, I want you to draw it on there, and if I do end up doing it, I'm going to send you 200 quid. But before we finish up at Ultimate Customs, I've got to say a massive thank you to Ryan. If you do need anything like this or any wrapping work or PPF, he's based in Warrington. If you're interested in getting in touch with him, I'm going to leave all his details in the description. But then we just had the final finishing touches to do. We're going to put the N logo on the bonnet and also some red accents on the blue stripes. But again, this wasn't plain sailing. We decided we went too far with all the red accents and decided to minimise that before finishing off the bonnet by putting some colour inside that N logo. Here we go, the final piece is done. One word, how do you feel?
Happy it's done.
That was 3 words. Well, the time now is just gone midnight. I've got a 2-hour drive home, so I'm probably gonna do that right now, and I'm gonna show you guys this car in the morning. So there we have it, that marks the end of the Hyundai I30N build. Now I know some of you are going to love this look and some of you are going to hate it, but at the end of the day, all it is a set of stickers that you can peel off and take it straight back to the original factory, well, wide body look anyway, at no hassle at all. Now there is still a couple of little bits I need to do after this. I need to get the red trim back on the front. I did order one, but Hyundai sent a black one instead of a red one, so I've got to wait for that to come before I can put that on. And I think we're going to put the front splitter back on, and hopefully this time I can keep it in one piece. Now this car is going to be for sale at some point in the very near future, so I'm going to leave a link for my Instagram in the description where I'm going to do a full advert with everything that's been done to it and how much exactly I want for it. So if you're interested, go pop me a follow down there. But I really hope you guys have enjoyed watching this build as much as I have doing it, and we're definitely going to have some more in the very near future. So if you've enjoyed this video and the whole Hyundai series, make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Make sure to hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.